everyone's sitting there nervous, getting lined up, and I think for me it was always the most nerve-wracking time of the race, sitting there on the line waiting for that roll call to start.
Yeah, Sarah, so you raced in this in the London 2012 Olympics. How do you think they're feeling right now?
Yeah, look, I think it's a repechage, you know, it's sort of do or die at this point. We know that only 4 crews are going to progress through, so 2 are going to drop out, and surprisingly, we're seeing the United States of America. I mean, this would be the first time in a long time that we've seen the US Women's 8, 11-time world and Olympic champions now, 11 years undefeated in this event. But they're on the start line, and we hear the roll call. Lane 1 is Russia, lane 2 is the Netherlands, lane 3 the United States of America, lane 4 Canada, lane 5 Great Britain, and lane 6 China, and we're away.
Yeah, like you say, Sarah, it's been a really interesting couple of heats with Romania and New Zealand already in the final. The United States of America finding themselves in a repechage. And we expect a really strong race here with 4 to qualify out of the 6 just getting off the start now.
And it looks like the Russians had maybe just an early lead with the Chinese over here on screen closest to us.
Yeah, the Chinese crew, they were 4th in Poznan from the Henan province. But now they've qualified to be the representatives of China here at the World Rowing Championships. Got away quickly in lane 6. Now we take a look in at the British crew in lane 5. Only one survivor from the crew that picked up the silver medal in Rio. That's Karen Bennett in the 7th seat. And the British number 5 just getting out in front. But I think that number 3 from the United States, ominous, in the centre of the field.
I think this is a really amazing effort from the British. They're in the lead at the moment. To have one returner from the Olympic Games last year, that's a huge turnover of athletes, and that experience makes a big difference. Yeah, I think they've done a really great job here to be in the lead. I mean, they, as you say, the bow of that US boat would be ominous. Certainly they're one of the hot favourites for this event, but maybe not to win it this year.
We're coming up here towards this first 500 metres. The United States now do look like they're pushing that bow in front. We've got 3 Rio gold medalists in there returning, and they've got hold of the lead in this repechage. The crew from Canada alongside them also have returners from the Rio Olympics, 5 of them, who didn't get a medal there and will want to put that right in the lane number 4, as we see the Americans in 3, the Canadians in 4, and the British starting to get a grip on this race.
Yeah, as you say, Greg, the Americans getting themselves into the lead. I mean, this is the position that we're used to seeing them in. They're so aggressive through the back end. It's become a really signature style of the way that the US women row. You can see the way that they really rip the handle in, and that huge amount of power that they're able to send down with each stroke. For me, the British just looking a little smoother through the back end. They don't have that same power that they're able to throw down every stroke.
Well, that's right, if we look at the United States urging the crew on. But, of course, the all-important position here is the 4th place. So we can see the 3 crews at the head of the field. We've got the Netherlands currently over there in lane 2, looking like they've got hold of that 4th and very important qualifying position. The crew from Russia on lane 1 just getting eased out of it as we take a look at the cox of the Great Britain crew. She's in there, Matilda Horn, urging the crew on, getting as low as she can in the boat, trying to be as aerodynamic as she can in the back of the boat and get the most out of this crew and keep them moving away towards the head of the field.
Yeah, as you said, Greg, you know, we've been talking about the all-important 3rd and 4th positions and the difference in the semi-final ABs that we've seen this morning, and how important it is to be on the right side of that line to come through in the top 3 to make the A final. The repechage here is a little different. Most events, or every event, has a repechage. In this case, the 8s don't have a semi-final. They just have the repechage. So there isn't a progression from here if you miss out into the A final. It's straight from the repechage, top 4, go straight through to the A final. So it looks like they're starting to establish themselves here, who the top contenders are for that. It looks like China and Russia are just going to miss out. And these are the 4 crews that will progress. It's Canada and the US out in the lead. The US have about 4 seats on the Canadians at the moment. The Dutch really establishing themselves into, it looks like, 3rd position. And this relatively new and young British crew in lane 5 currently sitting in 4th. But, I mean, at this point, it's starting to become pretty clear who the players are. The 8's a really interesting dynamic, isn't it? Because you don't necessarily have that flexibility as a rower to change the plan because
No,
it's
that's right.
Coxon who's making the calls.
I think you set the plan out at the beginning of the race, you talk about it, and then you all have to absolutely commit to it. I think we're seeing the Canadian crew now starting to move back. I think they'll be pleased to be right up at the head of the field with the American crew as we look for them looking to make this move now, coming in towards this last 500 America, trying to resist that pressure coming onto them from the Canadian crew. Further down the field, the British seem to have faded, as you said. The crew from the Netherlands, again, very experienced, 5 Olympians from Rio in this 8. They didn't manage to get medals, but they at those Rio Olympics, but they're pushing in and getting solidly into that 4th position. We'll have to wait, but we didn't see them crossing the line. The crew from China and the crew from Russia, who are looking like they might get eased out.
And it looks to me as though the Canadians are starting to draw level. The Americans had 4 seats on the Canadians, but the Canadians are moving. They really want to take the win in this race. They're starting to pull up level. It looks like our bow women are going to be level any minute now. A really tight race here unfolding. It'll be interesting to know what's going on here. I mean, I imagine that it's hot. It's a long week. Would the Coxons have the plan to maybe, if things are looking like it's fairly certain 1,500 metres in, would they say, no, we're just going to keep it level and we're just going to row through to the line? Or would winning this repechage make a difference, do you think?
Well, I think the two Coxes are eyeballing each other from boat to boat, and I think they're both urging their crews on. They're seeing this as the race. This is a medal race. We've got 2 boats already in the final. This is it. Who's going to have the psychological advantage going into the final? And we're seeing the Canadians just looking to push it, just looking to ease it through, working pretty much flat out as hard as they can. This is a dress rehearsal for who's going to be racing out for the medals come this final at the end of the regatta. Wow. And it is the Canadians just showing in front.
Wow, incredible race here between the US and Canada. We saw this duel for many, many years out the front of the course. And here they come down to the line in this repechage of the women's 8. It looks like the Canadians just have the advantage, 1 seat in it. The Canadians will take the repechage of the women's 8. The US in 2nd, 3rd Britain, a great performance from this new crew, and in 4th the Dutch, taking it pretty easy across the line, so we might see something more from them come the A final. Disappointment for the Russians to come in 5th and miss out on that A final.
Yeah, it's been a tough time for the Russian team. Of course, they missed out on the Olympics with everything else that was going on in that country. So they want to come back. Lots of that crew that we've just seen race for Russia were collecting bronze medals at the Under-23 World Championships in 2017. They haven't made it through to the A final here. It's the Americans, it's the Canadians, it's the British and the Dutch who are going to join the Romanians and New Zealanders in what will be a great final that we can look forward to end the regatta on Sunday. I guess because it's a Sunday final, there's an extra day of rest, so the crews can afford to have raced this one